What's up, everyone? Thomas here with For Real, and it is time to talk about Tribeca. And I've gathered a few friends so that we can discuss the festival and what we're looking forward to. So we have Raj Shani, and then Matthew Simpson, and we also have Jonathan Mustakis from the cinema group here as well. Gents, welcome to the conversation. I am excited to talk about Tribeca. The thing that I realized right before I started my introduction is that Tribeca is founded by Robert De Niro. That wasn't the realization, but what I realized is that Robert De Niro is on today's Cinematrix. So we're gonna do that real quick. We have 3 scores that we need to fill, and what I really want us to do is to try to find the lowest percentage selections for each. Have you guys done Cinematrix before? Yes. Okay. Jonathan, you have. Matt.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I have definitely done a version of this, yes.
Okay. Cool. Raj, I'm going to introduce you to something that's going to take over every day of your life now. So, for those who don't know, Vulture has a little game called Cinematrix, and every day they put a grid of 9 selections, and they choose 3 people and then 3 criteria, and you have to fill in those boxes. And of course, however, the rare choices that you choose that meets those criteria and those people get you more points. So we're not going to do the whole thing. Meryl Streep and Donald Sutherland are also on this. I'm gonna let y'all do that on your own. But let's talk about Robert De Niro and see if we can get like I always aim for like single digit percentages. So let's see what we can do here. Robert De Niro and a title that begins with the.
Godfather.
That is, I thought about The Godfather.
Or 2.
Pretty popular, I imagine. I imagine it'd be pretty popular. Can we think of anything else?
It starts with the
one with.
I don't like doing this live because it's going to make everyone's going to be like yelling at the screen.
The score.
The score.
One with Edward Norton. The score, right? They're both like thieves. They not bank robbers, but like they're right.
We want to go with that?
Yeah, they are.
That is, I don't know if that's my pick, but like that is.
I mean, that's a good choice.
He's been in a lot of movies.
I know, and this is where I get my brain muddled because it's like, oh my gosh, I have to think about the whole filmography and like, what do you choose? I'm gonna go with the score.
Actually, hang on, I'm trying to think here.
Okay.
The score. We're sorry. We're going for like least popular or like least known.
You can't Google it though. You have to do it off the top of your head.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think if maybe
there's so many. Hold on, wait. The Irishman.
I thought about The
The Alto Knights just came out. He plays 2 people.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Is that The Alto Knights or is this Alto Knights?
Isn't that one the family where he's like in witness protection with the him and his family go to Italy? There, he's like.
Yeah. I was thinking about like one with like The Mission is a great popular movie. I'm just thinking if it might be not so popular just because it's old now, because that's the society we live in.
Wait, the one with Anne Hathaway.
The Intern.
The Intern.
Yeah.
20%. Okay. No, that's
no, my all time. This is what we gotta pick. Christopher Walken and Robert De Niro and Meryl Streep. Deer Hunter. The Deer Hunter.
Deer Hunter. What year did that come out?
73, I think.
Yeah,
late 70s.
Before Fredo. I don't know.
We're putting the next criteria is 1970 to 1979. I'm gonna go ahead and put Deer Hunter. That sounds fun.
The Deer Hunter. Amazing.
5%. Yes, we hit it. 5%. Okay, cool. Last one. Robert De Niro and double letters in the title.
Double letters in the title.
What does that even mean?
So like double O, double E, double.
Like not like 2 letters. Like
double N. Like really.
Meet the Parents.
So like Meet the Parents would be a good example. That's very popular. Can we think of another one? I think the one that I thought of was Goodfellas.
Mm-hmm. Or Raging Bull would be one, right?
Oh, that's true.
That's a good one, yeah.
Which one do we go with? There's a lot.
Yeah, he has He's like, I'm gonna be doing great grandfather movies.
I mean, I like Raging Bull. Do we want to go with Raging Bull? That sounds good.
Yeah. Goodfellas or that or Killers of the Flower Moon, I guess.
Oh, that's right. Killers of the Flower Moon. Let's do that one. That's a good one.
I don't know, bro. Mean Streets as well.
Yeah, Mean Streets would be a good choice.
Bro, this is you picked someone with, I mean, and Meryl Streep has a filmography that could go a mile long too.
Right. Matt, did you have one more suggestion?
No, so I brought it up and I'm doing it alongside you, and I typed in Raging Bull and I won't tell you what the percentage is.
Shoot, do we go with Raging Bull now? That's a little bit of it. Let's do
So I'm not actually clear what the percentages are.
So I don't know how they do the math. If anyone is watching this and understands the math,
what if it's like all of them work? Like if all of these are right, and like that's
so they're all right answers, but like the challenge is to choose the rarest answer, and the rarer the answer is, the more points you get.
So I will point out I did type in the mission for that begins with
what? So if it's
2%.
a low
2%.
Wow. If it's a low percentage, that means that it's good or bad.
Wait, the mission could also be an answer to this one because there's 2 S's in mission, right?
Oh,
yeah,
that's true.
That's true.
So if it's a low number, like if it's 5%, that's good.
That's good, right? And so I always look at trying to get single-digit percentages, because that means that fewer people choose that one. I think that's how that goes, but it gets you the more points. And the other thing is that yes, you can have answers. Like there's a lot of times there's multiple categories or multiple selections can have. Sorry, multiple grids can have multiple answers, but you can only use the movie once. So if you put the mission or title that begins with "the," you then can't put it for double letters. And this has really fucked me over sometimes, because I'll be like, "Oh, I know this," and then I put it, and then realize, "Oh shit, that applies to that category as well," and would have been a better answer for that category. And I already wasted it. So
I'm thinking ahead to the middle one. Does anyone know if the King of Comedy is 80s or 70s?
It's 80s. It's like 82, 83.
Okay.
All right. I'm going with the mission for double letters. Let's see what happens. 2%. Yes.
I put Mean Streets and got 5%. So what was the one on?
So
Matthew, what did you put for yours?
So with the title beginning with "the," we put The Intern. It's in 1970 to 1979. I put Deer Hunter, and then double letters I put The Mission. And Deer Hunter and The Mission were really good answers. The Intern was I guess a more popular one.
Yeah.
There you go. All right.
I mean, that is a nice movie.
Oh, you put Deer Hunter in the 1979.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I put it on begins with the. Gotcha. I'm trying to think of the early De Niro's, other than, I mean, Taxi Driver's got to be in there, but that's got to be a very popular one. What's the movie he made with De Palma? With Orson Welles. This is like a real deep cut. I don't know.
That is a real deep cut.
No idea.
I'm Googling it now.
The only reason I know about this is because De Niro went to or studied acting at Sarah Lawrence, which is like the college in the town I grew up. And that's where like he wasn't really discovered by Scorsese. He was discovered by De Palma. And his first like big movie was the one I'm trying to remember the name of. And after that, like Scorsese just stole him.
Oh my gosh. All right, guys. That was fun. That was a fun way to start this. Maybe we'll take this little game to all my friends and movie fans at some point.
It's better than Wordle for sure.
I know, right? I'm terrible at Cinematrix, just like by myself. It's hard for me to remember like everyone's filmography, but it's really fun to do like with people who like can all contribute, and we can figure out which is the best answer.
Yeah.
Just wait until you guys find what's it called? Cine to Nerdle. Have you heard of this one?
Not heard of
number
that
2 or
yeah, so it's CINE 2 Nerdle, and they give you a grid of 16 squares, and they each have like a thing in them, and you have to align each row to describe a movie. And then once you have that down, there's a fifth one that goes vertically. And it sounds complicated, but it's actually really fun, and it's like really rewarding to figure it out.
Has anyone ever gotten a 1% on Cinematrix?
I have not yet. I've gotten 2%.
I just did actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember the
I'm
name.
I'm doing the Donald Sutherland row, and I put the First Great Train Robbery under and it's 1%.
I remember the name of the Orson Welles De Palma movie. It's called Hi Mom, and I put it in for De Niro 1%. Never had that happen before. All right.
All right. That was fun. That was a lot of fun, guys. Thanks for doing that. Thanks for entertaining that little segment. Let's talk about Tribeca. So Tribeca is happening, if I'm not mistaken, from June 4th to 15th. Is it June 14th or 15th? 15th. Obviously, Tribeca is in New York, and they do a really great job of programming really high-profile films, programming things that came from Sundance and other film festivals, but also spotlighting New York-based productions as well. And so, yeah, it's pretty cool.
And also just arts and like in general.
Oh yeah, they cover a lot. That's true.
This year has been crazy, like with music and podcasting. They're really doing a lot for content, even just like this. Like they're shining a light on that because their new thing they run in the middle, Tribeca X, is like almost like a career networking event where they showcase like speakers and thought leaders, industry leaders, things like that.
It's like a summit with like keynotes and stuff.
With keynotes, yeah, absolutely. Jonathan, I should have had you run this. I feel like you know.
I'm sorry, Tribeca's like my home.
No, so there was one year I actually got into their. I reviewed one of their immersive experiences. So it was like this audio immersive experience, and like that was a super cool thing to do. That of course, you didn't have to be at the festival to experience, but Tribeca covers a lot of different types of entertainment and mediums, and it's really cool how expansive that festival has gotten. So we cover film at the part of the festival, and it would be so cool to expand into other parts down the line. But we're going to talk about our favorites, or at least our most anticipated film that we're looking forward to at Tribeca. Garage is going to be there in person. Jonathan's going to be there in person. Matthew and myself are going to be covering it remotely. And so let's just talk about the Tribeca experience for a second, and we'll start with the virtual. Matt, how are you feeling about covering Tribeca virtually?
So this will be my 4th or 5th year doing it, and it's actually become like easily one of my most anticipated festivals every year, and one of the ones I enjoy covering every year. There's almost always at least one film that I see that ends up being like in my top 10 for the year. At this festival, it's an interesting one. It's a big sales festival, so a lot of the films often like don't have distribution, and so like if I'm trying to like sell watching a screener to my wife, she's like, "What is this movie?" And I'm like, "I don't know," but like I kind of love that though. Like I love that there's a lot of these films that just have like no publicity. I don't know anything about them, so they're really like kind of blind experiences, and I very much enjoy that about the festival. And I'm looking forward to watching a bunch of movies again this year. Like I love this festival. One day I'll get out there in person. Probably not in the next few years, unfortunately, but I very much love Tribeca, like a lot. It's one of my favorites every year.
There are definitely two types of people: the people that go to festivals and are perfectly content not knowing anything about the movies they're going to go see, and then the people that need descriptions, that need trailers, that need like all of the details before. I love it, Raj.
I mean, for me, it's like I like seeing stuff that is made by people I like, but I don't know anything about. I want to just like experience the art as purely as possible, right? And there's people like, and this is not to, I'm not talking down about anyone like this, but like there's also people who need to know the Rotten Tomatoes score first, and I'm just not that person. It's
it is, it's so interesting. I mean, there are people who need to know the Rotten Tomatoes score. Like everyone kind of has their criteria on what they need before they go into a film, and this is something I've had to learn through my husband, because he's like, I have to see a trailer, and I'm like, but why? It's you can have this authentic experience and like just like experience it as you watch it. And he's like, I don't, and I can't remember which movie we saw. There was one that I was like, you need to just like not know anything about this movie, just go into it and know nothing. And he was not a fan of that idea. And he ended up not liking the movie.
I mean, I think it's I think part of it is that I think we're a different kind of moviegoer, right? Like we obviously consume way more movies than most people. And I think there's a want to, you know, not it's going to sound harsh, but like I want to like not waste your time, right?
No, that's entirely valid. That's exactly.
Whereas like this is, none of it is a time waste for me. Like if I see a movie I don't like for the first time, great. I'm not going to watch it a second time. That's fine. But like, I have no regrets watching it the first time. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I'm covering the festival virtually as well. And really my focus at this festival is getting some interviews in and just kind of having conversations about what I'm able to see virtually. And so that's what I look forward to with this festival, is being able to do that. And I also aspire to getting to this festival at some point in the future. We'll see when we can make that happen. So, but let's talk with our in-person friends here. Raj, you've covered Tribeca before. I think it was more of a virtual covering back then. And you're going to try to get to some in-person activities. How are you feeling, now that we're a few days out from the festival?
Yeah, that's exactly it. I think that's the excitement behind it. I was lucky enough to cover the festival for you guys 2 years ago, I think it was. So this is gonna be my second time hitting up the fest, and yeah, this time I'm gonna hopefully be able to make it out there in person. And just, I don't know, like the film festival environment, just being in a theater with a bunch of movie fans, people that are there for what you guys are saying, like movies that they have no idea what they are, and they're just there for the love of cinema, love of art. Like I'm really just looking forward to getting back out there, and I've been to a film festival in a few months. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, for sure. Jonathan, how about you? You cover a lot throughout the year, and Tribeca, I know, is one that you always look forward to. What's your feeling ahead of the
I'll
fest?
tell you why. Like, I used to work in finance. I didn't do this like at all. Like, I know that might not sound like it. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
2018. Like it was very much my father does that. He wanted me to be him type of thing. I liked like it to some degree, but anyway, I quit my job just because I wanted to try and go work in film. That night, a friend took me to go see Dreamland at 2019 Tribeca Film Festival with Margot Robbie and Finn Cole. And I got to stay because this person like works in the film industry, and got to talking with some people. Got my first PA gig like that night, and also like once I started trying to do kind of journalism or film criticism, things like that. Tribeca was the first film festival to ever accredit me, so it definitely has like a very warm place in my heart. And yeah, I've also just been going to it since I was like a kid. My family exposed me to the arts young, and yeah, I love it. And I think this year's just going to be an interesting like experience, especially for the cinema group. This year's been great for us, and so I'm excited. As you said too, I'm very excited to interview a lot of people, get to sit down with some of these filmmakers, and yeah, it's going to be a very, very busy next 2 weeks or so, but I'm excited about it. And a lot of these films, like we said, are not anything that was on my radar, anything that I would pick just to go see like like off the cuff, but like most of the films I see at film festivals like that are some of the ones that end up having like the longest lasting impact. Yeah, I'm a New Yorker. I love I love having an opportunity to go down there, and yeah.
Yeah, I love that Tribeca was the flavor of Kool-Aid that got you into film, or at least the film
Well,
scene.
I loved movies my entire life. Like
Right.
that, it's been my passion. It was just like I got into Tisch too, and it was just like my dad was like, he's like, get a real degree, and then you go fuck around.
I feel like we've all experienced that from someone at some point. That's funny.
But yeah, no, it was it's just kind of a kismet thing, and yeah, like we said, I think De Niro and the rest of the programming team really cares not only about film but about like bringing art to New York and keeping it like in schools and in theaters, things like that. This festival does a lot of outreach across a lot of different mediums. I know we're all men on this panel as well, but they have a amazing event that I covered last year, and I'm going to go again. It's they're called. My dog is being a little. It's called Through Her Lens. Like it's a luncheon hosted by Chanel and Vanity Fair. Teddy. And it profiles or just kind of spotlights all of the kind of amazing women that work in film. And I got to go to that last year, and it was really interesting to kind of hear a lot of these women's stories of how difficult it was for them to get into kind of position. Like a lot of them, most of them were actors or models or something and didn't want to be, and they did it only to get to be a director or a producer, and so I really enjoy that.
Yeah, it's interesting how much this festival actually like.
It does mean a lot to me.
Yeah, no, that's so great, man. So what we're gonna do, I want to get straight to the point with this one, right? Like Tribeca has a wide selection of films, and there's something for everyone, I'm sure. But we're going to just very briefly take a moment to talk about our most anticipated films of Tribeca. And I'll kick this part of the conversation off with a film that I have seen. I had a chance to watch it ahead of the festival and talk with the directors. But it's a documentary in the Spotlight Plus program called Just Sing, and this movie instantly caught my attention. This is the world premiere at Tribeca, and it instantly caught my attention because it's a documentary about collegiate a cappella. When you hear collegiate a cappella, there is one thing that comes to mind, and that is that is Pitch Perfect. I love me some Pitch Perfect, right? Those movies just have such a very interesting hold on culture just because of how cool they made a cappella look. And look, here's the thing, right? I watch those movies, and acapella is something that I have been aware of for a long time. I grew up on Take Six. I watched the season where pentatonics became a thing of the sing off when they got started there. And so acapella has always been kind of a part of my understanding of music. But Pitch Perfect is just when everybody like finally recognized how great it is, and so I had to watch this documentary. It's directed by Angelique Molina and A.B. Troen, and I also found it super interesting because they're both kind of cinematographers by trade, and so that was something I got to talk with them about. But I just had to see what collegiate acapella looks like in real life. Pitch Perfect obviously is a produced production. You have the high quality like production value of it, and it's fun. I love it. I think Pitch Perfect covers music so well. I don't even listen to the original versions anymore. but I wanted to see what that looked like in like the real world. What does a real world acapella entail? And I think that this documentary was just a really timely opportunity to see that. So I do have an interview with Angelique and AB and the producer Sarah that I'm going to publish. But I think like I didn't. There are a few films that I had like this kind of reaction, like I have to watch that. Like I need to get that on my calendar. And so now I have to share about it. So just saying, I strongly suggest seeing it. They're actually the main collegiate group that is in the movie is going to also do a live performance at Tribeca, which I am so sad that I'm going to miss
That
because I'm
sounds dope.
but anyway, just saying. Is anyone else? Was this anyone on anyone else's radar, or is it on anyone else's radar now? What do you guys think?
I saw it the other day at they're doing like early press screenings this past week, and it was one that they had in between Lemonade Blessings, and so I was staying. I wasn't gonna stay for it, to be honest. I was maybe gonna go grab like lunch or something, but I figured why not just do the triple feature, and I did really enjoy it. I'm not gonna spoil too much because we're just
Yeah.
teasing them, but yeah, no, it was interesting, and my girlfriend of many years was like in the it wasn't the acapella, but it was like the choir at our college. She got in on like a music scholarship, and she didn't do it for the entire 4 years, but she does love to sing, and it was interesting to see it at a level that where like kids or like young adults are like really invested, and they're not really like there's not there's not a big trajectory past that college like for a lot of them, which is unfortunate. Like even like classical musicians, like there's not a big pay scale for, so these people are really doing it for the love of it.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it
for sure. Raj, what about you? What do you think about Just Sing?
I'm just excited to close out this recording with you doing an acapella performance.
That will not be happening. I love that you think that would be entertaining.
No, in all seriousness,
no matter what happens, it'd be entertaining.
It would be
entertaining. It would be entertaining. I totally
That's
agree.
the hook of the video. Come on, you
that's the headline and the thumbnail is you like singing and all that. Come on,
I have not had enough mimosas to do that.
No. In all seriousness, though, one that was actually on my radar until a couple days ago when you flagged it to us, and after hearing you talk about it just now, like it sounds incredibly interesting. I think beyond the world of Pitch Perfect, this is not something that I'm super familiar with. So just getting that knowledge and that understanding of something that I don't have a lot of knowledge about, that's another sort of piece of the magic of movies that come out of Tribeca. So I'm definitely excited about it after hearing you talk about it.
Yeah, Matt, what do you think?
So it's definitely on my radar. In large part because as a person covering it remotely, obviously most of my communication with the festival is from PR people, and they have been emailing me about it relentlessly.
Yeah.
So, but it does sound fun and cool, and it's not like super high on my list, but it's definitely on my radar as one to like check out. So yeah, I'm excited. It's based on your reaction here. I am very excited to see it now. I was like, oh, that might be cool before, and now I'm like, oh, I should probably see that. Is where I'm at. So
strongly recommend it. Strongly recommend
everyone
sees it.
Yeah, sounds like a fun one.
Jonathan, what's your most anticipated film at Tribeca this year?
I picked one, but there are like honestly too many to count. I'm going to go with Paradise Records, which is Logic, the musician and rapper's directorial debut. He wrote the film. He developed it with Kevin Smith, and he has a all-star cast of some great New York character actors in it, and a bunch of really great musicians. I've seen it already because I'm going to interview him, and but it's funny. It touches on a lot of like poignant topics in a really interesting way, and it pays homage to some of like our favorite indie movies in like a perfect way. I also just love Logic as like a person. I think his advocacy in the mental health community has been like very, very admirable. And yeah, I'm excited about that.
Yeah,
I will, if I'm gonna just stay on and maybe plug one more interview.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Also gonna see another rapper's directorial debut is SZA's or RZA's from the Wu-Tang Clan has a film, A Spoonful of Chocolate, that is premiering at Tribeca, the world premiere, and I am sitting down with them later this week. The star of the film, his name is Jordan, as well. I'm going to sit down with both of them, and I'm very excited about it. I don't know much about it other than the synopsis that's written, but I'm also very a little bit nervous to sit down with a member of the Wu-Tang Clan, I'll be honest. Not actually, but like I'm interested to see his. I know he's a huge film buff. He like studied under Tarantino. He's like a really, really interesting person. I've seen him in like as an actor in a lot of like great shows, like Californication, whatever. Like, but yeah, that's
what is this movie?
yeah.
How have I not known about this? How
So
did this go past my radar? What?
That's one that's definitely on my radar. I could go all day, but like we're gonna keep it to one or two.
I'm doing my research now. I literally have no. So it's one spoon of chocolate. It's a part of the Escape from Tribeca program. This cast is stacked. What? Okay, guys. While I'm figuring this one out, Matt, what's your thoughts on this one? Was this on your radar? Are you like following this one? I think you're muted, Matt. There you go.
Sorry, I was distracted because I was looking at the listing for this movie that totally was not on my radar. Even though I do love the RZA, so like I don't know why it wasn't. And yeah, the cast, Shamik Moore, like this, it's yeah. That this looks like a good movie. Now excited to see this movie. So thank you for that.
For sure. Raj, your thoughts?
Yeah, this one wasn't on my radar either, but I do want to go back to Jonathan's other one, the Logic one, because like I feel like I'm interested about seeing that one as well, because I feel like he's sort of shown a little bit of interest in filmmaking. I think if I'm remembering correctly, he had partnered with Joseph Gordon-Levitt when he was in that Hit Record stuff, and they worked on some stuff together. So I feel like the guy has a real sensibility when it comes to filmmaking, and I'm just interested to see him dive into a directorial debut like this.
You know, very cool. I'm gonna just finish it off with a short. Kid Cudi's short is I'm forgetting the name, but I just it's gonna kill me. Kid Cudi has a short in the
wait, is this the Neverland one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right.
I just heard about it this morning. They just hit me up about it, and I was like,
yes.
Anything with Kid Cudi? Yeah, sure, man, I'll be there.
Kid Cudi's great, but I'm looking at this, and I'm all about vampire films this year. Okay, so
it's like set on a boardwalk, or like it's set on like either like a carnival or a boardwalk or something, and it's gonna be like in their short series that's running in the middle of the festival.
Yeah. So I think
I was like, please, yes, thank you.
Oh, interesting. Oh,
so
this is so interesting. So it looks like this is direct. This what I'm looking at is directed by Ty West.
Ty West. Okay, I'm in. Done.
Right.
Same. I'm in as well. Yeah.
It's 11 minutes, and it's classified as a music video, but
It's an extended music video. Yeah, that's
executive producer Jordan Peele. Like, this has all the credits.
Yeah, exactly.
All the
So
credits.
those are
Yeah, this is great.
the music this year, I'm telling you, and Miley Cyrus's thing is very interesting. I'm gonna
Miley
stop.
Cyrus, yeah, for sure. I feel like you are like very in tune with the music side of this festival this year.
Well, what I was saying in the beginning is they really pumped the music in, because if you see at the end of each screening, it says either like a talk by like Mark Maron's thing we talked about, like he's gonna do stand up after the premiere. Miley Cyrus is going to sing the opening night is Billy Joel, or he was.
I mean, I guess even with Just Sing, the SoCal Vocals are also doing a performance after.
So yeah, they want it to be more than just seeing a movie. They want to make it a very immersive like experience for the audiences, and like I felt like they were trying to turn it into like a more of a music and arts festival, and then I thought that the ticket prices were going to skyrocket. And I'm actually amazed that the prices are so affordable for like people who don't get like a press pass. Like you can go see every film outside of premieres for $500. That's you could go to any film, like you could buy a ticket for any given day for $60 and just go to as many as you want outside of premieres. I feel like those prices do not exist at other festivals, and it's New York. I can't have lunch for $60.
He said I can't have lunch for $60. The struggle's real out there.
Yeah, can confirm.
I feel like a lot of these things are paired with a person who's like a multi-hyphenate who is going to do either a talk or a performance of some kind after each of these screenings. So
I do absolutely love how immersive they're making this festival. It's a really cool thing. I mean, normally festivals like have Q&As and that's cool, but to be so music oriented and then capitalize on that with the live component of it, yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, good call outs, man. I love that we just like explored the music side of Tribeca. Raj, what is
maybe it was in my mind too, because like I got the like press sheet of all the like red carpet events and like because I was trying to figure out like how to plan my schedule, and so I think the majority of the ones that they like really listed of all the attendees and like who's expected to be there for like photo calls were all coming for like these music events. So like I kept like eyeing them in on my schedule, and I was like, oh shit, like this is but yeah, no, even the documentaries, like I could go all day.
Yeah, no, good call outs, man, for sure. Raj, what's your most anticipated film at Tribeca?
Yeah, I'll put a little bit of a darker sort of turn on some of this. I feel like we've been talking about some brighter stuff, and the one that I'm most looking forward to is Recreation. This is the one starring Vicky Krieps and Aidan Gillen. As I understand it, it is a fictional sort of encapsulation of a true 1996 murder of a filmmaker in Ireland. I believe it's still an unsolved crime, but it's more of a fictional retelling of courtroom sort of investigation into the murder and the trial. This one has my interest. I feel like it could go either way. It could really play into the thriller and sort of true crime aspect of it all. But I feel like it could also maybe walk the sort of courtroom drama side of it. And I'm interested to see which route the filmmakers decide to go. Irish films sometimes have a little bit of a slower pace to them. So that's something that I'm gearing myself up for a little bit. But I feel like these types of true crime dramas always capture my interest. It's right up my alley in terms of thriller, maybe a little bit of horror element in there. And yeah, this one I'm really, really looking forward to.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Vicky Krieps was the name that got me interested in this one. And I think that I'm looking forward to seeing it as well. As far as I understand, it is definitely more focused on the jury. So it's giving juror number 2 from I don't it's not the same kind of conflict, but really just like focusing on the conversations among the jury and them kind of piecing together what they think may or may not have happened. And like you said, it is a fictionalized drama, courtroom drama of a real situation. So yeah, it definitely it's very interesting, and I'm also very curious at how they go about doing this kind of like 12 Angry Men uh, style of story. Especially since I feel like Juror Number 2 is pretty fresh, and that also kind of had its own take on 12 Angry Men. So yeah, I think this is a good call out. Jonathan, do you have any thoughts on Recreation?
It wasn't on my radar, and I see that you guys are really hyped about it, so I'm gonna have to really go learn everything about it and figure out which
I'm sorry there's
screen
no
I'm
music
gonna
in
get to. But yeah, I had it was definitely not on my radar at all, and I'm going to definitely look into it. I also love like some like Irish cinema. I haven't seen like I loved Belfast, and I was kind of disappointed by Cillian Murphy's latest.
Small Things Like These.
Yeah, exactly. But then I loved this FX show about the IRA. All the oh god, my brain is thinking about 100 different movies right now. But yeah, no.
No, it's cool. It's cool to put this one on your radar. I think this might be one of the more interesting, high profile films at the festival. So
Yeah, I'm looking at the schedule now. I don't know if I'm going to be able to go to the premiere or the press and industry, but I'm going to try and ask them for a screener and write a
yeah, there
review.
you
I'd
go.
love to see it.
It's nice
It's
to.
right next to the Bryan Cranston,
Oh.
the best you can, and the Kevin Bacon.
Mhm.
So literally this year is like there's a lot of films this year.
There's so many like good looking films for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, Matt, do you have any thoughts on Recreation?
Yeah, so as a lifelong Star Trek fan, I know that Colm Meaney's in this, so I was like, oh, I'll watch that for sure.
Right.
But it's also directed by Jim Sheridan, who I don't think he's done anything of like note lately, but he famously directed My Left Foot and In the Name of Father and Boxer and like he's like he's got a bunch of Academy Award nominations anyway. Like he's a good filmmaker. And then I'm in for Vicky Krieps, I'm in for Aidan Gillen. So it's not at the top of my list, but it's on my radar for sure.
I think Jim Sheridan also co-stars in the movie as well. He has a role in there, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, cool.
Not just directing, but starring as well.
Nice.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. He hasn't done a lot lately. He's only done like a couple of movies in the past decade. So it'd be interesting to see what he's up to, basically.
There you go.
Yeah. I wouldn't say that I'm hyped, but I'm curious.
Curious.
Is it a remake? Like, was there an early film in 1914?
1914.
I don't know.
1914 film about a 1996 true crime murder.
Irish film made in 1914. Like the year 1914.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Starring Charlie Chaplin. No, this can't be the same thing. I'm sorry.
Probably not. But good for you for looking into it.
Well, I was just trying to look it up, and that was the first thing that came up.
It's a bit of a generic name. I think I would probably put Recreation.
I didn't get the hyphen.
Jim Sheridan. Very cool. Well, Matt, while we're on you, why don't you go ahead and bring it home? What is your number one most anticipated film at Tribeca?
Okay, so I'm gonna cheat and do two.
Okay, that's fair.
So the first one is I'm a pretty big fan of Marc Maron, and there's a documentary about Marc Maron in the festival called Are We Good?, which chronicles his life basically explores his life from COVID to now, and dives into like his stand-up career was really taking off right before COVID, and COVID just derailed it. And then during COVID, his partner, longtime partner, Lynn Shelton, who's a great filmmaker in her own right, passed away. And like, if you know Marc Maron, like, you know, his humor is a bit, dark, sardonic, sarcastic. And I really love the way he delivers lines and the way he speaks about the world. And the guy who directed this, whose name is Stephen, I believe it's pronounced Fine Arts, which is a great name, just for the record. He also has like a long history of directing comedy specials and comedy adjacent things. So I feel like it could be a really good collaboration. But knowing Mark Maron's sort of like reputation and history of being very open and honest, I feel like it'll probably be very, very funny and also very melancholy. And that is kind of my jam. So, yeah, that's probably my most anticipated. And then before you move on,
on the list? No. I want to hear your second one.
Okay, so there's another film coming in. It's called In Cold Light. It's starring Maika Monroe, and it's directed by Canadian director Maxime Giroux, who this is not going to mean a lot to the rest of you because I'm the lone Canadian here, but like Maxime Giroux is like a multi-Canadian Screen Award nominee. He's directed a number of great French-Canadian films, including probably most recently, I think he did... there's one called Plan B, and there's one called Norberg, all of which are recent. The Great Darkened Days is also great. He's got a really interesting perspective, and In Cold Light is a crime thriller starring Maika Monroe, which would be enough to get me on board in the first place, where she's apparently like fresh out of prison and trying to like reclaim her empire. And it's also got like Helen Hunt and Troy Kotsur and like lots of great people in it. So I just wanted to make sure to shout out the like Canadian auteur at the fest.
I'm glad you brought that one up because that was my number 2, and I was bummed to not be able to mention it. Anything with Maika Monroe, despite the travesty that was Long Life. We can get into that another time, but I'm excited for anything Maika Monroe's in. So I'm glad you brought that one up.
Yeah. I'm very excited. I was only looking at it like during while we were talking, so I'm very excited to know that it's there and get the chance to see it because I like Maxime Giroux. He's directed a lot of good films.
This was not on my radar. Oh man, I love these moments where it's like, oh, cool. I'm looking forward to this. Jonathan, do you have any thoughts on Are We Good or In Cold Light?
Both very excited for. I have a equal admiration as Matthew does to Mark Maron. I think his past is very. I share like some sort of kinship with him with I don't know, his addiction struggles, things like that, and I love his comedy. I love his like kind of just humor, outlook on life, everything Matthew said. Honestly, I don't want to parrot, but yeah, no, I'm going to that opening night and hopefully get to say a couple kind words to him on the press line. Yeah, I'm very much excited for that. In Cold Light, yeah, Maika Monroe is what popped out at me, and then I looked into it, and I was like, all right, yeah, I'm in. So very, very, yeah. There's so many films this year that I would go to if I had the time, and the press and industry screening list. It's like every film starts 5 minutes from each other. And like if I could just be in every theater or just walk around AMC and go like into every room, I would. Yeah, I'm gonna try my best.
Yeah, this is always the struggle at festivals. Every single time I know I complain about like, why isn't the P&I schedule conducive to my life and my interests?
Exactly.
It never will be, and we just do our best, right?
Yeah.
It's honestly the thing I miss most from
festival in Seattle. I'll make it there, and you'll come to the Tribeca next time.
Yeah. Let's make it happen.
Yeah. What you're talking about is the thing the only thing I miss from pandemic times is that everything was online, so it did conform to my schedule because you could just watch whenever you wanted. Just to be clear, not worth it. Like not worth the exchange, but it was nice.
There's nothing better than a packed. I mean, like obviously it's nice going to a theater and it being empty and you getting it to yourself, like just when you're going for leisure. But like, there's nothing better than like an opening night that's packed, like for like any given movie. But there's nothing better than a packed house at a film festival.
There's only the two best ways to see a movie in a cinema are in a full cinema or in an empty cinema.
Yeah.
And almost anything in between is just a little bit annoying.
That's so valid. Okay, guys, we're going to bring this one to a close. Tribeca, once again, is happening from Wednesday, June 4th to Sunday, June 15th. So much to experience and enjoy at the festival. You can find all of the information about the festival at tribecafilm.com. And yeah, anyone out in New York, if you're going to experience the festival, I hope you have a great time. But yeah, let's go ahead and wrap this up. Jonathan, where can people find your Tribeca content?
You can follow us at thecinemagroup.co and find us on any of your favorite social media platforms at The Cinema Group or at The Cinema Group News. If you just Google The Cinema Group, you'll find all of our platforms, accounts, etc. And we're on Letterboxd. We are on Rotten Tomatoes, etc. You can link us in the bio of any of our accounts and find every other account. And thank you, Thomas, for including me. I am really happy to have made this connection back at Sundance, and we're going to get you to Tribeca next year. Actually, New York Film Festival.
New York Film Festival, Tribeca. Look, New York, I'm coming, okay? One of these times I'm going to get there. Matthew, where can people find your content?
Well, this year, most of my content will be at For Real, which would be nice. For Tribeca, at least, there'll be a few spread around to that shelf as well. If you're looking for me generally, you can find me. I work freelance, so the easiest way to find me is to go to either my portfolio page, which is stretched.ca, or my Patreon, which is patreon.com/mcsimpson. And I write in a bunch of different places, so you can find me at like Exclaim and That Shelf and For Real and Keith Love Movies and Movies We Texted About, and then on the socials at SmatthewAF in most of the places.
All the places, right?
Yeah, mostly on Threads and Blue Sky, but technically in all the places.
Raj, anything you'd like to plug before we sign off here?
Just For Real, read our coverage, read everybody on this recordings coverage. You're going to get some incredible stuff out of Tribeca 25. And yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, for sure. And of course, you can find all of my content and all of our film festival content at thisisforreal.com. For Real, of course, spelled FORREEL, on social media, on most platforms at This Is For Real. And yeah, I'm excited to Tribeca again, and start publishing coverage. So thank you guys for joining on this conversation. Thank you anyone who's watching for watching, and we'll see you all in New York. Okay.